so far I'm just ripping it all up, making a bit of a mess of it, but these are, I can't save these boards, they've all been nailed and they're really old to be fair, so they're falling apart. So what I'm going to do, you see when I converted it, I put the insulation in from underneath, because we had really limited height space in there, I didn't double board it from underneath. So what I'm going to do is go retrospectively rip up the floor. I'm going to add a little bit more insulation to it. I'm going to batten each joist, then I'm going to lay the soundproof board in between, laid on some instrument sealant, acoustic sealant. So I'm going to just pause this a minute, I'm going to get all this cleaned up and then I'll start on that section. If you notice first, I took the skirtings up, I scored them with a knife. That stops peeling too much paint, and then I'm going to whip it. Oh, the only thing is with this house, they basically built first ground floor, laid all the chipboard flooring everywhere, then built studs off it. So I've got to get the cutter out in a minute and just score all the edges so I can snap the boards off quite cleanly. So that's my job for a minute, so I'm going to pause it, get those bits done, and then we'll get to a stage where once it's all up I'll show you again. Gonna put the battens in now. %, battened. I've got something just to make up there to bring that floor joist out so we can catch the end of the board on it. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. You can see there I've just put those dome covers on. That's supposed to be helpful with acoustics for the downlighters. And let me turn this off.
And it was like I feel.
So they're supposed to help acoustically with the downlighters. I'm gonna add a bit more insulation to it in a bit. Make sure the wires are sort of neat, and then yeah, we're good to go. So I'll start boarding then. But yeah, not bad. It's taking a bit of time for getting those battens in, especially when you get to cut around some of the noggins. But yeah, it's not too bad. Right, so there is the soundproof boards down. Finished. I've beefed up that end, so I've got the boards can sit on there. I've got 2 sheets left, so I'm going to carry on and get another layer on this. Because we've got plenty of space where I've set them down, there's just enough I can get another one in, so I'm going to crack on and get that done, get 2 boards down and then we're rocking. All that's left then would be the chipboard. One thing with the chipboard is, well, I'm fixing, I've got some tape to put on top of these as well. And then I've got some resilient tape to put on there, and then I'm thinking fixing off centre onto the battens that I've put in for the boards to stagger that, because that is the only thing that's connected to the room down below, the timber. So what I'm thinking is if I can shoot the screws down onto the batten, I've sort of made a jagged connection to the ceiling below, so hopefully stop a little bit more of the noise. But again, I don't expect to be a problem to go through there. I just think there's another chance for it to travel up. Right, I'll put it on the new one after I've got the initial second boards down. Final bit of the floor, so it's double boarded now everywhere. Like I said, the only weak spot here is going to be the pipes. But I'll put one underneath it, and I'm going to lay, if I've got enough of the resilient tape, I'll put some more on top of it as well. The only that's it really. So it's all good. The second one, I don't worry about cutting too tight, just it was more just take that noise out. The roughest bit's just over there, but that's I think that's 2 layers already then, and the bits on top are just all the offcuts. And I thought I'd just leave them in around the pipes. That's it, all good to go. So I'm going to put the resilient tape on next. So that's the floor joist resilient tape on. That's how it looks. Easily sticks, so sticky there. Just mind yourself of that. I'm gonna have to go and wash my hands now. Yeah, so that's all that down. Next stage is put the floor in. I'm going to opted for the 22mm chipboard. So I'm going to give it a final sweep up and bring the rest of the boards up. And we'll go on the floor laying. Right, so this is the finished floor. My battery ran out yesterday as I was finishing the floor, so I got it all cut and put it in. I started to fix in with the screws. The ones I had weren't quite long enough because I wanted to fix into the batten beside the joist. So what I've done, I've drawn up everywhere the joists are. So I'm gonna in a bit get some longer screws and then go in. I was tempted to leave it, but then I thought because the floor's so uneven, the old timbers, I think it'd be better to fix them still. So I'm going to go for that. I just need some bigger screws, and then I'll probably, once I've screwed it, I'm going to seal the edges again with the acoustic sealant, and then I'm ready to put the skirtings back on. Just a quick tip. I don't know if you can see some of these lines here or not. I just mark out everywhere where the pipes were, so when someone else or when we lift the carpet again, we can see where the pipes are. And like I said, I mean, you don't need to mark the joists, but I have done, just so I can fix them a bit. Yeah, so that's it. I'll do another quick one of me put the skirts back on, but that's gone really well. And to be honest, you can feel, as it is now, you know, without fixing it down, it feels really solid. But I will fix it, I think, because of the nature of this sort of flooring. Alright. Right, guys, that is it in a nutshell. Skirting back, that's the old stuff, so I don't have to fork out for any new skirting. Obviously it looks tatty now, but this whole room's going to need painting, so once all this is gone off, tops will be corked, everything give it a good coat of paint and a fill. Just trying to plug, I filled it, so I'll get that finished off. But yeah, that's it. I'll update on how it feels once it's all done here. But you can see from there, nice view. So not too bad, not too shabby. The white, the acoustic mastic's quite gunky and sticky, so yeah, I mean, you can see that, but I overdid it on the pipes, but it just came out together like that. So yeah, it's all good, gone really well. It feels solid. I had to go for extra long screws though, just to get into the battens, so I haven't actually fixed into one joist. I've gone on either side of it, gone into the batten. My logic being that you're offsetting the noise coming up through. So once this is done, I'm going to research some decent underlay, acoustic underlay for the carpet. Probably like some sort of rubber matting type underlay, and then get a nice thick carpet on it, and then I don't really have any problems with this floor at all. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I've marked all the joists out on this one. Always mark out where your pipes are, ideally, because you might forget later on down the line. And cables, I have 2 cables come down the wall there for the socket. So anything like that, mark, because you might remember it now, but come up and take the carpet up a few years time, you'll forget everything. Alright, thanks for following. I'll try and make this short, like the video a bit quicker. It took quite a while because it's my first time of doing this particular method. But I reckon there's probably 2 good solid days here once you've got all the gear here to get a floor. This is about just under 7.5 square meters, 3.2 by about 2.4 I think from memory. 6 of these chipboards, 17 2.4 battens, and then I've used approximately 4 sheets of soundboard, but I've obviously doubled it all up. If you buy just the half batch, you'd probably need 1, 2, 3, probably 4 sheets of that. So yeah, it's all much of a muchness actually. And then yeah, that's it. Thanks for viewing it. Hopefully it's going to be helpful. Comment, do any of that sort of stuff, and I can hopefully get back to you on anything, and I'll let you know how it goes with the noise levels here. Cheers.